Welcome back, legends.
Episode 17.
Yep, episode 17. How good's that, eh?
We're here.
Getting there, bros.
Right, we're on our way, slowly on our way up there, eh?
Yeah.
Slowly, episode by episode, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Heading towards the next donker, episode 20.
Yep.
Came for that.
Yep.
Just nailing them out slowly.
Yep.
It's been good.
So we're just going to throw in a bit of a shout out to the couple of supporters that we do have left. If you watched episode 16, which, truth be told, we've only just recorded half an hour ago, which was a live episode, but it will be coming out, or you would have already seen that when you're watching this. Obviously, Jaden mentioned in there that he was pulling the pin on Devil Accessories due to other commitments. But yeah, a bit disappointing, but anyway, them's the breaks. We're sort of hoping by the stage you're watching this that Provoked Apparel would have been bought out by some other legend and it's going strong. But yeah, they've had to pull the pin too. They've sold the business, or the business was up for sale at episode 16. So we won't know that the outcome of that until sort of probably too late.
Episode after.
Yeah.
Episode 18.
But a shout out to Aniki Auto Care. He's still on board, so thanks, mate. And Renegade Grips, they're still on board, so thanks, guys. Appreciate your support. Look them up. We say it every time, but yeah, big shout out to them. They're hanging around, and they're small businesses. Please get around them. Our discount codes still stand, and they'll be in our bio, so check them out. But thanks again for those guys still supporting our little podcast.
Yeah.
Right over us. So yeah.
Well, last episode we got smashed with the questions, and we're barely halfway sort of through it. We had a good effort that last episode. So there's one. We've obviously got a favourite, and we were talking about implementing a new thing too just before in between these two episodes about a question of the episode. So we're thinking that whoever comes out with a belter will both decide, and we'll organise something to send you either some stickers or something, or so whoever comes out with a belter questions. Might mix it up. If we mix it up, probably get jealous people, but you know how it goes. But yeah, so whoever comes out with a belter question in our episode when we chuck out a box, we'll shoot something over to you and as a bit of a thanks. And thought it'd be a cool thing to sort of bring in.
Absolutely.
And keep them rolling in. But episode 17, 17.
Yeah, 17. And again, we are live. Obviously, you would have heard in episode 16 we had Regan on there just smoking us the whole time. He may jump back on for this episode, he may not. But anyone else out there, Brendan's jumped on straight away. Good to have you on board, Brendan.
Wrong Turn Adventures jumped on, so the evening fellas can't
legend.
stay tonight.
Yeah.
So
what did he say,
It is a school night. Evening fellas can't stay tonight. So it is a school night.
Yeah.
So we don't expect people to stay up till midnight. No. We understand that, but we're chucking live to whoever can.
Well, it's a bit of a pity, Nath, because your question's actually first off the rank. So just so you know, mate, that'll be loud in that bloody microphone. Sorry, guys, for whoever gets to listen to that. There's not a real big production going on here. But yeah, Nate's hit us up with a couple of questions, so he'll be first off the rank tonight. But thanks for joining us, and whoever else joins in or whatever. Bros, so what do you want to do, mate? Do you want to? There's obviously it sort of feels it's weird when you record two in the same night, because you sort of feel like you don't really need to introduce anything, or nothing's happened. And nothing's really happened in between the two episodes, because it's still here sort of thing.
No, we did, because I had to, I suppose anyone that doesn't know, I've said it before, living on the bus out on a new property, and we've got the generator going, and as organised as I always am, I got bugger all fuel for my generator, and when you leave the fridge on too long, it chews the battery power out, and it still need to get some more batteries and everything. And then so I've had to go check the generator and switch it over to just generator to keep charging the batteries, and then switch it back, and the inverter doesn't kick in, and then I go out for Starlink to start up again. So this is the trouble. This is what we do to get these episodes to you guys.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm sitting in the dark, still haven't organised a light. Don't want to turn the light on the bus because I don't want to drain the battery, so I don't cut out mid-episode.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is what's happened between the two. Brad fed his face full of shapes as well. Made me feel hungry, so I had to go through the cupboard. So a bit does happen between these episodes. So.
Love your work, and that's true. Like it is. It's
a polished production.
Yeah, we sort of don't really process that too much. So sort of, we're just sort of that used to it. But yeah, the fact that you are, mate, you're and I'm sitting here making all this bloody noise on the microphone. I've got a bloody crooked knee at the moment, and I've got an ice pack hanging on my knee. So it's all happening. It's not polished. It's certainly not polished, this podcast. I think you said earlier, mate, like on the previous episode, it's got a bit of a people's podcast, isn't it? We're pretty, we're a couple of vlogs just having a yarn and getting people involved, and mate, it's been the bloody people just jump on. It's good, we don't have hundreds of thousands of people. We have a solid sort of 5 to 10 people all the time getting on, so we appreciate that. Can't thank them enough. And the fact that you're running around in between, bloody turning gen sets on and off, and bloody tipping your last bit of cup of fuel in and all the rest of it, sitting there in the pitch black, freezing cold.
It is cold down here. I'll try not to get the shivers on.
Nah, it's sick. We and we love it, mate. We absolutely love it, and can't thank people enough when they get involved in it. So sick, absolutely sick, bros. So we do have a few questions to get through for this episode, mate. So I'm thinking we're just going to jump straight into it. Unless you want to add anything else.
We'll hook in there. There's a couple of bangers there.
Yeah. There's no one live there that said anything that they want to.
Well, Brendan said, "Who's going to school tomorrow?"
Not us. Thanks, God.
No, definitely not. Lucky it's not a work night either, because it'd be. Both Saturday. What a dickhead! It isn't a school night. What the fuck am I talking about?
Saturday night, so no school for anyone.
No, it's just, mate, we're working every day, mate. There's no weekends for us fellas,
Nah. But plenty of work to do tomorrow. We've got a fair bit on here at home, and Gayden's still got a fair bit on.
Mother's Day, mate. There's a bit to do tomorrow. All the mothers out there.
Yeah.
It will obviously already be past by the time you listen to this, but happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Yeah, here's some.
Thanks for all the work you put out.
Yeah.
And put up with all the bullshit dads drinking piss and recording podcasts or watching podcasts or. Yep. Special mums out there. Big thanks.
Yeah. Well, I think our daughters are both working. Our daughter's down in Crafter, she's just gone back onto her swing. She doesn't 8 and 6, so she's just gone back on the swing. So unfortunately, she won't be spending the day with mum. And our youngest daughter that lives with us, she's working all day tomorrow as well, doing the hard yard. So it'll just be me and Fee at home, and we've got a few jobs around the house to do, and
do what mums do best. Put them to work.
I'll probably be my job. I'll have to be bloody Mother's Day cook tomorrow and all the cooking and stuff. But she deserves it, mate. She's a good mum. So there's to all the mums, like you said, Jaden, and it'll be Shannon's first Mother's Day, so that's pretty exciting, bro. So that'll be bloody exciting.
Yep. Let her nip into the shops and organise a fancy breakfast early in the morning, and probably get some fuel for the generator. And
we're not having bacon and eggs this morning, Chandler. They're going into town. They got no fuel left. That's good. That's good. So I'm sure she'll enjoy that, mate. And pretty bloody special day when it's your first Mother's Day. Not that I'm a mother, but I'm sure for every mother will appreciate that. But so all right, mate. Well, if there's nothing there, I'm going to jump bloody straight into the questions. And is a carry on from our last episode. The questions that we got from the Q&A, and it's from Nathan, known as Red, from Wrong Turn Adventures on Insta. So he's got two questions. We had 3 questions, but. So when is it too early to travel in the season, and what do you do if everything is still closed? Now, and I think we sort of spoke about this off air as such, Jaden, and it probably refers to more so up in the top end. But in saying that, look, it could be about seasons like obviously, I sort of was a bit blown away when we were down there that we couldn't light a fire, and it was just like that. We were right on the cusp, weren't we? If I had been there a week later, we would have been able to light a fire, and we couldn't. So there's obviously seasons everywhere. But when is it early to travel in the season, and what do you do if everything's still closed? So the reality is, if you're talking about coming up here to the Pilbara, and obviously the Kimberley and Darwin and all those sort of areas with the wet season. I think that changes for Darwin, and I think they've sort of pretty much locked it in. For the Pilbara, it's different every year, to be honest with you. Like some years we get a really early wet or a really early heat wave per se. We sort of, our heat time, I guess, is around that sort of October through to March sort of thing. And then, it starts to cool down for like a week and a half, and then it gets hot again. But, I can't really speak for the other parts of the top end. And for down south, obviously, not sure whether you're familiar with the exact dates for fire restrictions and that, Jaden, are you? Or?
Oh, it changes every year and they extend it, but
it does get extended a bit, eh?
This year's been a dry summer.
Yeah.
And it's actually been a bit weird. Normally we're raining by now. We had the day you left, it pumped down 80, 90 mil. Absolutely ridiculous. And then we've had bits and pieces, but like when I was obviously an earth moving, we have to sort of watch the weather carefully, obviously, because you can't build driveways in mud. But we're just talking, the winter's disappeared, like next week's supposed to be all dry, and so normally about now is when you don't want to be down here. It's beautiful if you can get the right times with all the water, all the rivers start filling up, but you're probably better off on the other end, sort of slowly coming into summer if you can get that sort of end. But this is sort of the time now. You don't really, it's freezing cold at the moment. Big shout out to me for sitting out here. I'm in shorts too, full rookie. I need to put my bunny helmet back on because that's actually quite warm. But
look, I do take my hat off here because I'm sitting here. I've got the aircon running. I did have an ice pack on my knee, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, but I'm inside, and it's beautiful weather up here at the moment. For early in the season, when is it too early? Yeah, I guess, to be honest with you, Nate, it sort of changes every season, to be honest with you. And part two of that question is, what do you do if everything is still closed? Look, to be honest with you, I think you have that plan B. Every time we go away, we definitely have a plan B. I know last year started this year? Must have been the end of last year when we went up to the Kimberley. And we're waiting for the Gibb River Road to open so we could come across. And then when we came across the day it opened, but everything was still, there's quite a few other places still closed. So the road was open for access into places, but the actual places weren't open. And I guess to that, the only thing we were sort of relying on was probably to get to a fuel station on the other end. And that was open, which was Manning Gorge. Or, Manning Road, not Manning Roadhouse, what's it called? Not Manning Gorge. Whatever the roadhouse is, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it needed Bramwell. Not Bramwell, that's bloody Cape York. I don't know what I'm talking about, but so anyway, the roadhouse at the other end. So at the end of the day, if everything is closed, I think you've just got to have that plan B, prepare for the worst and hope for the best sort of thing. So,
I suppose it's in making the most. Obviously, you're on a trip to enjoy it. We've done a trip to the past up Darwin, and hitting all the big parks up there. And when we went up there was when the Fitz River Bridge got taken out. So it was just pumped. Everything was flooding flat out everywhere.
Yeah.
And so a lot of those, there's all your popular spots of water they'd shut down because they didn't know where crocs were, and so they'd been jumping over into different pools and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just roads are flooded and this and that, and so it was just a thing of there's no point moaning and carrying on and kicking stones, so there's it definitely wasn't our ideal thing, but went to some crocodile parks in Darwin and this and that, and it's just making the most of it and enjoying it. And
isn't it funny when you say that, mate? That the reality is you had an itinerary, you had a trip, and that didn't work out, so you all of a sudden you just adapt and you go and see other shit, and you sort of look at it as like you said, no, it's kicking rocks. You just look at the positives of Well, I've actually got to go and see shit that I wouldn't have gone, and it was never, it was never going to be an option to go and do that.
Yeah.
Pardon me, now we've done it. So, like, I reckon always have that bit of a plan B and just be real open and adaptive to where it's like, well, all right, so we can't get into there. Well, let's go to Darwin and go to a croc park, or let's go to that's it.
But I mean, and it's like, I mean, obviously it depends where you are, if you have internet and stuff, but, it's only a Google away what's in the area, or even on Google Maps, just type in, I don't know, the bloody attractions or something and everything pops up, so it's not hard to find something else to go see, and just make the most of it. And
Regan would be able to jump on his Starlink and he'd be able to look for everyone.
I hope he's here to hear his insults.
I bet he isn't. Look, I mean, that's what I would say, mate, to you, Nate. And you did have a third question, Nathan. I'm going to answer this pretty quickly for you, mate. So you said, what is the best coffee for on the road or on the run? A coffee from Barista Brad out of the back of 79. The best
big
coffee
flat white.
Yeah, flat white. Yeah. Long black or flat white, that's all we do. We don't do coffee machines and all that sort of stuff. Pod machine, bang, bang, in, away you go. So, I'm a coffee drinker, and Jaden doesn't drink coffee really, like, very randomly. So,
it starts a running to a certain fucking room in the house, that's for sure.
So, mate, the best coffee is the pod machine in the back of our bloody 79. So,
I do love a good coffee though. We had a coffee machine inside, not a flog sort of spec like in the back of a ute, but don't mind do like a coffee, but.
So I'm wondering if you know anyone, Nate, just by chance, mate, that would be able to hook Jaden up with a coffee machine.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there, mate. Just putting it out there. You know where I'm coming from.
We have a comment from Brendan as well.
Yeah.
Said, this is interesting actually. We have an anti-government fire pit night here. The Bunbury Shire has decided in its wisdom to ban fire pits all year, which is actually quite queer.
Okay, well, I did see something on your
all year round
about that.
Yeah, so all year round they're not allowed fire pits, which is, I don't know, I suppose it is, Bunbury's a mini city, but
what does that mean? In your backyard you're not allowed to have a fire pit?
Yeah, well that's what I read it. There's no fires at all, ever. Which is, like, you can go, I'd say, maybe thinking, they don't want people getting firewood, but most service station stuff you can buy.
He put up a story on his Insta today and said that, in the wisdom of Bunbury Fire. So in case you're wondering, Bunbury Shire have decided to call it quit on fire pits, but I just thought it must have meant for the weekend. Because we're getting ready for the potting.
Well, that's what I read. Yeah, you said all year, so.
How fucking stupid. Well, so let us know.
Time to move, bros. Time to move. Time to come on up.
What's the theory behind that, Brendan, and why are they doing that? And so what's your option? So if you what do you got to go to the local park and have a gas heater? We'll leave you and go. Unbelievable. Thanks for sharing.
No, but it's not the same though, is it? It's you can't beat a wood fire.
No, you can't. And I'm interested to know how far that extends, Brendan. Like whether it's obviously Bunbury, but obviously I think Brendan's off the top of your head, mate. You'll have to correct me, mate. But you're not actually in Bunbury yourself. You're out.
It's just said under 2 hectares, no fire pits.
There you go.
So it's clear. Proper clear.
So you can have a fire.
Time to buy a bigger property, bro.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Brendan. Buy 25 acres.
Yeah, it only costs you, a couple $100,000 more, and you can have fire.
Yeah. Well, how crazy. So, I don't know why the reason that is behind that. Whether it's because people are complaining because the next door neighbour's got a fire pit and they're putting smoke on there watching, or crazy world we're living. But anyway, just quickly, mate, thanks to Nathan from Wrong Turn Adventures. Always gets involved. He comes up. He's been a bloody day dotter. So you're a stalwart of the potty, mate, and thank you very much. You're probably going to bed, so you'll get to listen to this in a month's time or whatever. But thank you, mate. Must be
going to school tomorrow.
Yeah. So all right, we'll skip Regan because we did his in episode 16, and he's bloody going to bed too because he's a sook. Dan, I don't know if you'll go also. Alright, so Evan, old Luxie. His question, mate, another day dodder, been here from the start, absolute legend. He's away camping at the moment, I'm pretty sure he's still away. Yeah, I'm hoping he's catching a few fish. He's got the boat down there and the dogs.
I see that.
Yeah, so hopefully he's slaying them down there. But yeah, it was a question essentially for me, mate. How's the 105 going, Miss the old girl? Yeah, 105's going alright, mate, but I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, well, I drive it to work every day. It's me daily. And I do love it. I still get in it every day and I still love it. But it does need a lot of work, and I've actually just got to get my shit together, get some money together. Obviously, we're still playing catch up from our Perth trip, and we're still trying to get some shit done around the house. We came home from our bloody Perth trip, mate. We've had to while we're away, our pool pump shit itself. Bloody $1,600 later, so we've had to get that fixed last week. And while we're away too, our toilet, the big porcelain toilet, pulled off the wall. Obviously we've had the house for 4 years now. It was a bit of a dodgy setup apparently. We didn't notice it, mate, to be honest, as the system was against the wall, so we didn't really notice. But they've actually just tried to bloody bolt this big heavy porcelain bloody thing to the timber and to the plaster. No noggin or anything behind it. And it's actually, while we've been away, it's actually pulled off the wall. And won't flush, and that's to flush it we've been turning it on the wall, the tap, and then turn it off, and pain now. So we've had to put a new bloody whole toilet system in yesterday. The shower was leaking, so we've had to fix the shower, and all our retic shit itself while we're away too. So we're out there on the sprinkler. So there's been a bit going on. While we're away, we've had to fix a bit of shit. But anyway, them's the breaks. So we haven't really got a lot of money to put into the 105. But I did go fishing the other night, and did a heap of corrugations, about 40k of corrugations out to this fishing hole. And oh mate, it sounded like the front end was going to fall out of the fucking thing, to be honest with you. It's not in a good way. There's something's not good in the front end, and the auto's playing up, and there's a few things wrong with it. And then obviously while we're away also the local young fellas, apparently there was a young 11-year-old kid going around with a slingshot and punching a heap of holes in people's windows. So we came home and one of the side windows, the back driver's side window in the 105 was smashed. There's a rock sitting on the floor inside. The bloody hole the size of a 50-cent piece in the window. The only thing that's keeping it in there, mate, it's got a really good tint on it, so the tint's actually keeping the glass is shattered, but the tint's actually keeping the glass in there. So I need to get that replaced, which is a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. So I'm driving it at the moment. I'll put a bit of tape on there, and I'm driving it until it completely smashes out. We'll probably pull one out of the donor vehicle. We need to spend some money on the 105, mate, to be honest with you, but it still goes to work every day, and it's still got me out to catch me personal best barramundi of 74 centimetres. So still a sick rig, love it. But thanks Evan, and I hope Jaden and I have been yarning about it. We hope you're down there slaying them up and having a ball and enjoying some time off work and a bit of a regroup and a bit of a relax. So enjoy, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Evan.
For sending another question in. You've been there since day dot. Love you heaps, mate, and appreciate it.
Brendan sent a bit of an update on the fire pits and a screenshot through.
Roger.
So pretty much they're burning fire pits to alleviate fires because it's going to be a very dry winter.
Okay.
So unless you have 2 hectares or less, you cannot use a fire pit any time of the year. Fire bans are common in summer across WA Southwest, but residents have to apply for a permit to have a backyard fire, which is, I don't know if you would have rolled past Bunbury, and it's pretty much a city, so
I
think the bush is the last thing that's going to burn there, probably all the buildings next to someone, but proper queer, especially somewhere down here. It's bush galore, and I don't know, doesn't make sense to me, but
Well, yeah, it's been pushed from something. Obviously, something's happened, and it's got everyone. Picked up.
Someone's on a power trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting.
It is interesting. It is interesting. So.
Yep.
No, thanks for sharing that with us, Brendan, and I hope you find a nice big property that's over 25 hectares or
2 hectares. 2 hectares.
Yeah. So I hope you and Carly find a 5 hectare property real soon and get yourselves on the fire, because we'll be down there to join you for it. Right, bros. Shane Gossage, one of our. Did you want to say something, Buzz?
No.
Shane Gossage, one of our loyal supporters of the potty. What's been the hardest thing about keeping the potty going? This is probably my favourite.
We'll just discuss this.
Just a question that's like, when I read it, I thought,
Belter.
Yeah, no, it's a cracker. Do you want to go first, mate, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, can do. Obviously, I don't know if we sort of discussed this before, we discussed it with each other. Potties is like proper heaps easier than YouTube. You know, both do YouTube channels. I haven't done mine heaps. I've sort of died off a bit, but YouTube channels are, so much work. Podcast is a lot easier, but doesn't come without its challenges. Obviously, we're sort of trying to stick on we'd love to do weekly, but both got the work habit, we've got work lives, and trying to, I've gone from a roster to now full-time, working six days a week, plus doing other sort of stuff. So a massive one would be, I think, trying to line up time and stuff. And it's not hard at all. Like, we're just gonna sit here, press record, and talk, and that's it. Drink beers, and editing is quick as, to be honest. Like, it takes me probably 5-10 minutes. The longest part's the export and then uploading and then writing all the description and titles and making the thumbnail. It's probably the most time. But yeah, it's just I guess we've both got busy lives, and just trying to get that. I guess a YouTube sort of thing. You go just whenever you're out filming or whenever you're going down the beach. But for us, trying to stay consistent, it's obviously want to stay consistent, and then just trying to. Yeah, just the time management, I think, would be the big thing. Even just trying to get snippets to put on Instagram and bits and pieces like that, and just trying to coordinate it. Obviously we've got our jobs that sort of do all the editing part, and Brad belts out the Instagram and Facebook and all that. And it's a team effort, but quite enjoy it. Love doing it. I don't think I'd ever want to quit it, but I reckon for me it's the time management, trying to align it all and get everything at the right time, and obviously I had episodes that have come out a day or two late because something's gone wrong or haven't done the time. But for me it'd be the time management. But
and look, mate, I'm going to say the exact same thing. And mate, really appreciate your question, Shane, because it actually sort of like we sort of spoke about it off air for a couple of minutes, and I just said to Jaden, like, at the end of the day, I know my answer pretty much, but I don't want to hear yours until we'll go live, and then we'll do it then. But and I'm the same as Jaden. The reality is, it's trying to get that as much as I think the biggest thing for us is, and it's certainly not an excuse. Like, it's not that hard just to sit down, drink piss, and record. But the reality is, we don't both have jobs. Like, I've never had a roster. Jaden had a roster, but on the same token, when he was away, he couldn't do it. So he was doing a 2-on-1 roster previously when we first started.
2-on-2.
Oh, sorry, 2-on-2, and then, but when he was coming home, like, so for the 2 weeks that he was away, we couldn't record because he was away. And then when he'd come home, we'd try and punch a couple out and then try and sort of be in front. But then he was fully booked out with work and all the rest of it. And then now, so we thought, he's going to be home every night, we'll be able to do it, it'll work out better. We might even get to weeklies. But it doesn't work like that. Like, the reality is, I don't know from day to day what I'm doing. I sort of do, I'll do a shut and I sort of know, but then, last week I didn't know whether I was working this week. And then, I get told on Thursday, you want to come back to the workshop next week. So, I don't really ever know what I'm doing. I'm sort of all over the shop, which suits me because it's just I've been doing it for years. So it doesn't faze me so much. But and then I'll ring Jaden and say, you know, do you want to do a potty this weekend? It's like, mate, I've got this on, I've got that on. Yeah, right, we'll try and squeeze that in. And we did that this weekend, you know, like, Jaden's actually right now meant to be at a kid's birthday party, and here we are, bloody recording potty. So,
happy birthday to Michael. Sorry he didn't make it.
Yeah. But I mean, there's always something to do, and there's always
and it's sort of like, because of the job change of sort of working the father-in-law on earth moving gear, and like just the other day, come home and we mentioned at our last episode, we did a video with Brad and trying to upload all these videos to send to Brad so he can do the episode. And I thought, oh, wicked, it was my wife's birthday, Shannon's birthday, and I thought, oh, she was at her in-laws. I thought, oh, I'll be able to get home and upload a few videos, start downloading a few videos while I'm waiting for her, and I'll have a shower. And then halfway home, all of a sudden there's absolutely like a spark storm coming out the side of the truck, like proper. And on the anchors of the truck, like, I thought it was already catching fire. Like, I was sort of looking over my shoulder, double checking the fire extinguisher was still there, and I knew it was something to do with the batteries, and it decided that, because it was just a big piece of metal that had been cut for the top of the batteries, it was being 12 volt and 24 volt, and yeah, it had come undone with all the Manjumup's fine pieces of asphalt that we got down here. And decided to arc out on the battery, and I was there. The best bit, I don't know if I told you this, but I had this lady in a Parado behind me, and like proper, you know, like the sparks. I hit the anchors, pulled off as quick as I could, and she pulls up. Oh, you've got sparks coming out of your truck, she says. What do you reckon? But simple things like that. You just all fun with the work. But yeah, definitely on your same. It's just trying to line it and then stay ahead. Sort of and I sort of like we've talked about. It's sort of shitting away, trying to, you know, like tonight we've done 2 episodes and then. Just that time sort of thing, like we've had nothing in between. Like sometimes we only get the time to do 1 episode, and then the next time you've got, went to the beach this weekend, you got a little bit more to talk about. But like we just said at the start, you know, like we're doing the second one, you sort of forget to go over what's happening and all this sort of stuff. Like it's and that's the challenge of doing it, and you can't complain. It's pretty easy either way, but yeah, just that time management and trying to stay ahead and bring the content, and then that's But I love it either way. We both said it. It's just great to just chill out, and it's a bit of an unwinder for us too, to wind out, just have a laugh and drink some beers and talk to all you guys. So
and we don't want to stop it, mate. Like Jaden and I say it all the time, Shane, and to anyone else that's listening. But the reality is we both enjoy it. We both love a yarn, and it is just trying to line that up. And we would love to do it weekly. We'd love to both of us would love to do this for a living and just do what we do for a living as a bloody hobby sort of thing, if that makes sense. Because we really enjoy it. But look, we want to commit, and we hate doing a Q&A, and then obviously everyone's jumped on in the last sort of 24 hours and given us all these questions, and then obviously we can't do them all in one. And then so the people that are listening to this particular podcast have asked, they've answered the question, the Q&A that we've put out. You've answered this 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago. So it's almost like, we feel shit doing that. But hey, legends, like that's just what it is. We get that night where we try and punch a couple out, because we struggle to be able to commit and line everything up. Because when I've got a day off, Jaden will be working, or, you know, like if Jaden's flat out, you know, I'll have a day off and say, what, do you want to bloody record a potty for the weekend, mate? And he's like, oh, mate, I've got this on, and, you know, pretty much, like we've said it 1,000 times, so we speak every day, and Jaden will send me a message at bloody 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and, and he'll send me a video message, and he's driving home still, you know, He's been up since 3:30 in the morning, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and he's still on his way home. So, you know, and then he bloody has 4 hours sleep. He's got a young family, sleeping in the bus. You know, he's still got 1,000 things to do to build his property, and then he'll get up in the morning, and, you know, he sends me a message. I was showing the boss the other day that message he sent me, and you know, it's 4:30 in the morning and he's already on the machine. It's pitch black. The spotties are off the front of the digger and he's ripping trees out. You know, like music blaring. He's laughing his head off, having a ball. He's had 3.5 hours sleep and he's still laughing his head off. So you know, it is hard to line shit up, but we're trying. And Shane, the hardest thing, mate, is lining times up. It's not because we're not dedicated. And yeah, again, you know, Jaden's sitting out in the middle of a paddock right now. You know, he's got about 30 mil of fuel to run the genset to charge the battery to keep it running. He's basically not going to have a shower tonight. He's going to be wiping his ball sack with some baby wipes. He's going to pinch off his daughter just to get through. But that's we're committed. We love it and we're going to keep going. So Shane, thanks heaps, mate. You've been there since day .2, so appreciate your support, man. You're a legend.
Is that our question of the episode? I think too, as sort of discussed before. Or,
yeah, I think, mate. Yeah,
I think it is. I reckon there's a belter. We sort of like both jumped out at that's an awesome question.
Did,
so
it did.
So organised to send something out to you, and big thanks for that.
So yeah,
first winner.
Yeah, legend.
Everyone else, pick up your game.
Appreciate it, brother. So we got anything else on the lines there, mate, or we're jumping into another one?
Oh, fucking roll in next time.
Everyone's gone to bed?
Don't want to whine too much. Oh no, Brendan said our block identifies as a farm.
Oh, beautiful. Right.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, mate, a couple of Birkenstocks and a Subaru or something, you can do anything, eh?
Yeah. No, I reckon he needs a Subaru.
Yeah.
And mate, just a shout out to you, Brendan. Yeah, I know you haven't been well. I know there's been a bit going on physically for you. And it's not my place to share it all on here, but love you, mate. Hope you're going well, because I know you're struggling, and yeah, it's hard when you're bloody crook as a dog. He's trying to get answers for an illness he's got, and he just can't get any bloody answers, the poor bugger, and he's in pain every day. And yeah, hopefully this bloody potty and the last couple of potties can give you something to listen to, mate, or otherwise there's a bloody good YouTube channel out there called Red Dust Adventures. Jump on there, mate. That might give you a bit of a giggle. Anyway.
Oh, and I'm going, if you missed it, I don't think you're on the last one, even if you're still here. Going to Augusta in 2 weeks, mate, and all the good fishing spots are down there. So if you want to catch a salmon, let us know. Hook a brother up.
Yeah, so Brendan, if you are still listening, mate, and you're just not talking, yeah.
No, he's still here. Cheers, fellas.
Yeah, so...
PM, don't put it on here. I'm not going to tell every bastard, but give me a secret spot.
But Jaden did say on the last episode, we went live an hour ago, mate, for episode 16.
Yeah.
16, yeah, and so this is episode 17. So yeah, and he did announce there that he's going fishing down in Augusta with his mum in a couple of weeks' time, chasing salmon.
Never caught, not a big fisherman, but we're out to catch a salmon. Never caught a salmon, so
and we know you're the salmon slayer, so
he's probably going to message me and say there's no fucking salmon down there and ruin the whole trip. But anyway,
he'll tell you
they're fucking long gone, mate.
They left there about a month ago, but anyway. So yeah, you've got some tips for Jaden, Brendan, because we know you're the salmon slayer, mate. You can do that privately, or you can do it on here, so I can get some tips as well, but.
So he did a trip 2 weeks ago to Ugarup and landed 5 salmon. What about Abbott? Yeah.
Well, there you go. So hopefully he's got some tips for you, Jaden.
Yeah.
Righto, mate. So I'm going to go into the next question. Got to go to refer to the phone again. This is from Chris Hayes. He's down in Karratha there, mate. Wing It Mission Fishing and Outdoors on Insta and YouTube. Check his channel out too. Yeah, really nice guy, man. Really nice guy. Yeah, and he's been around watching our potty and listening to our potty for quite some time too. So I appreciate that, Chris, and your personal messages to Fee and I and the family while Fee was going through her surgery and stuff. Yeah, love you heaps, man. Appreciate it. So Chris's question, and I think we had a little giggle about this. We all know West is best. Here. But which is your favourite, lads? Northwest, Midwest or Southwest? And why?
So, it's a hard one, actually. Well, I mean, probably not for you.
And look, I mean, no, it's not. Like, I mean, to me, and he knows because he lives up here. He lived up in Headland for quite some time, or worked up in Headland, and that for a long time too, and knows the area and knows Karratha area and stuff, knows the Pilbara very well. And to be honest with you, Chris, I think you'll know my answer. Like the northwest for me, I just love it up north. And even just, and that's because he's a mad keen fisherman. He's a gun fisherman too. It's funny, mate. One of his episodes, he did an episode. I can't actually remember where it was, so you'll be spewing on me for that. But he did it in a kayak. I think it's a kayak. And he came in and got just smoked when he came in on his kayak on the beach, and he lost everything. Like it all come out of his kayak and that. I had a little giggle, but I didn't. Like I just, because I know how committed he is, man. He catches some big fish off his kayak and that, and he's a gun. So for me, mate, northwest. But again, I'll say it. I don't know, Chris, where the Midwest is, and Jaden and I spoke about this off air per se, and I just said, like, what do you call the Midwest, man? And we weren't sure whether that was the Gascoyne area or like, and you said maybe it's like the Perth area, just due to the fact that, like, obviously they've got all the Southwest, right down to Augusta and all that. I guess that's the Southwest as such. Then your Perthy area. And I don't know where that cuts off. Midwest could even be right up to Ningaloo sort of area.
Yeah, it's a big state, isn't it?
Yeah, well, so I'd be interested to let him know, to clarify that. But for me, hands down, northwest, the southwest, spending time with you guys down there, Matt. Like I've said to Fee a few times, I'd just love to be back down at Manjimup now. Just love me time on the property. I love just hanging out with you down there on the property, and and we'll never be able to explain. I've got a couple of little videos on my phone, and it's not something I'd put on YouTube or put it out there. But even just a couple of nights where we just, even that one night, you, me, and the young fella in the sloth just going through the cane fields down the bottom and all that, like fucking 20 tins deep on your property, just driving through there. Like, we had a ball, didn't we? Like, it was so good trying to make tracks through the dam and all that. Like, some good times. We had some laughs and did the potty.
It was feeling it'd be good to. There's so many rivers and stuff I'd love to show you down here. It's it's a cool camping spots. Like, and again, it's just a time thing, but
we didn't get to camp together, and like, as I know, and again, you said it in episode 16, Buzz, like, we had all intentions, if the world had aligned and everything had gone, mint, because you think you got all this time, and it just doesn't work like that.
Time flies.
We'd spoke about it, and we didn't say anything, and I'm sort of glad we didn't, but we really wanted to tee up a bit of a southwest catch-up, where we were going to meet on a neutral ground if everyone was keen. Some of the loyal people that listen to the potty and that, and Matty G from West Australian Off-Road, like, we wanted to catch up with him. And I think he's a bit dirty on me because I didn't catch up with him, and he won't be dirty on me, but I really wanted to catch up. There were so many people I wanted to catch up with while I was down there, and you and I wanted to get, like, our potty listeners and do a bit of a meet-up and do a bit of a big livey, with just, some solid people just having a bit of a yarn and that. We'd love to do that in the future. But it just doesn't work like that, man. It's hard to line everyone up, and quite a few people that I wanted to catch up with, that I'd said, we'll catch up while we're down there. We just didn't find time, and there was other people that are, come and catch up, and it's just like, it was hard to line up, man. Like, it happens that quick. So, northwest for me, mate. What's you? What
I'm conflicted, like. Obviously, northwest is gangster. Like, there's some epic shit up there. Like, I went to Wyndham. Is like, bro, I just cannot wait to get back up there. And it just, bro, it's just like,
if we could buy
I've said if I could only ever go to one place, it's going to be Wyndham. But I do like my southwest. I've grown up down here. I've just the rivers. I love the Carry Forest. Like, it's. Yeah, I don't know. Just I can't imagine living anywhere else ever. Like, even like, I love Wyndham that much. I don't think I'd ever move there. Like, I love it down here. But I mean, it's bloody. I hate the cold. Like, right now, I'm just near on shivering. It's absolutely fucking freezing, and the rain gives me the shits. But I don't know. I really love it down here. Like, so I'd have to lean towards down here. Going for a trip, definitely up north, if I want to go exploring, that's probably just because I haven't explored much. Like it is, you can't deny it's epic up the north. But
it's next level.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the southwest is my favourite still. I love it down here.
Yeah. And it's funny when you say that, bros. Like, we'll go for a trip up there, and we'll always be the same. We'll want to live here, mate. Like, I'd buy a property in Wyndham. Fee and I Fee more so. Fee is constantly on like real estate stuff, looking for properties around Wyndham. If a property comes up, we will buy a property in Wyndham, like every day of the week. You couldn't live there. We don't have work there yet. It would be a retirement sort of plan thing. But 100%, man, we would love to. We want to get a boat and we want to just spend some time in Wyndham. Pardon me. But the reality is, now we've got a taste for the southwest. We've talked about it since we've left there. Just can't wait to get back down there. There's so much we want to see. And I want to get to that point where obviously Marnie gets a bit bigger, and when you start taking Marnie camping and everything's all like falling into place, like love to just boost back down there and then just like the 5 of us go camping, or even just like the young fellow and all that as well. But just to get out, man, like that's providing you don't go and like get another one in the oven, but at the end of the day there's every chance of that. But you know what I mean, like I just can't wait to get back down there, and just there's a few people that we wanted to catch up with that we didn't. But the southwest was epic, man. Like I'd just even to go and do like Jaeger up or Yuga up again, but just camp down there, like go and do some camping down there, go and just even like to stop through Pemberton and just.
Yeah, there's a couple of some of those videos I sent you the other week. I put on my Instagram. We found a couple of new little camp spots.
Yeah,
and, like just up. We sort of know the area, but just found some more.
Yeah.
And, they're just like a fire, a couple of beers, and just you and the river and the bush. It's it's so good. But
and I was jealous, man, watching you with just the dogs just sitting there with that river in the background, because I could sit there with a fire and just drink piss. Bloody bit of music beautiful. And just, cut a bit of a line in there for a redfin or like, and just, come down there in marron season, man, and just do some marron hunting down there and that, sick, man. Like, and even like catching up with my mate down there, Jace, and going and camping out at Wally Dam, like bud. It's just the 3 of us, me, him and his brother, just out on the boat, had just a couple of rods out the back with some bloody, slugs on there, just spinning for redfin, but we drove around, man, for I don't know, maybe 2 hours, and just drank piss and just talked shit, laughing our heads off, had the best time, just on the banner hanging shit on each other. But just the rods out the back, I don't think anyone cared if we caught anything or not. It was just good, man. The backdrop was mint. The southwest is pretty special. Couldn't live there because I can't do the cold. Just watching you in jackets and shit now, and then each morning you send me the degrees. It's like 8 degrees, 4 degrees, 12 degrees. Like, fuck, I can't do it, man. We're up here, I'm going to work and it's 28 degrees. It's like, sick. Chris, thank you very much for your question, man. Check his YouTube channel out, guys. Really appreciate your question, and I'd love to catch up very soon, man. We'll go for a fish because he's a bit of a guru and got some tips for us too. But northwest for me and southwest for Jaden. We both don't know really where the Midwest is, but the Midwest.
Brendan just said Gascoyne area, Jarrow through to Shark Bay
is the Midwest.
I was supposed to say, and Brendan said he's the Midwest.
Oh, well, there you go.
He likes the Midwest, is his favourite. He said some magic spots off Bannister Road, Warren River. Warren River's gangster, I guess.
Well, and see, this is the thing.
Long River, and there's so many good spots.
And this is where, I can't, and I think that was a bit of a trick for us, not a trick, but I think it was probably tricky for us to answer because, and soon as Brendan said that, because when he says Jarrow, I know, and Jarrow's got that weird reputation, bro. It's like some people love Jarrow and some people just don't. Just to go through Jarrow and just what's outside of Jarrow, like Kalbarri's just up the road, and then you've got Horrocks and all these places. Like, man, some mad fishing all through there. Some beautiful spots. Like we went to Lucky Bay, just out of Kalbarri there, but you can ride quads on the beach there. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as we drove in there, like, it's just up the road. Like, I didn't even know that existed. Lucky Bay, everyone talks about Lucky Bay down near Esperance and, like, the southwest. No one really, I didn't even know that Lucky Bay existed. But we would hook up that trailer. As soon as we pulled in there, the first thing Fee and I said was, like, imagine bringing the girls down here. Like, you know, our daughters have both got 4 drives now, like, doing a family trip down there. You know, outside of, like, well, we want to go to Durkartog and do a family trip there, and we want to go to Kimberley with the kids and do a family trip there. There's so many spots we want to take the kids, but to go down to, like, Lucky Bay, drag the trailer in there and just take off on the quads. But, man, so, as Brendan said, the Midwest, some absolutely epic spots. Again, don't know anything about it. Because we've only touched a couple of spots there. Obviously, we've been to Calbo, but just a little bit of a day trip, and I don't know whether, it'd be interesting to know. I don't think it goes up to the Ningaloo bit, but well, there you go. So there's another one of our watchers and listeners, and one of our loyal bloody potty followers, Brendan, Ocean Heart Adventures, another good YouTube channel, guys. Jump on him and check him out. He's live with us now. Didn't send us a question, but he's getting involved, so that makes up for it.
I'll forgive you.
We forgive you. But yeah, he reckons the Midwest. So Chris Hayes, Wing It Mission Fishing and Outdoors. Thanks, man. Appreciate your question. Absolute legend. So next one, and this is from Jack from Good Juju. Juju being DHU. He just sent a laughing face and said fishing as for the Q&A. Now, a little bit of so he hasn't really asked a question or whatever, he just made a statement like fishing. Let's talk about fishing, because he's a American fisherman. The reason I know Jack, and in a bit of a funny story, just like obviously I've just caught me PB Barra the other day. I think he was like the second or third person I sent it to. Like, I think you were first, and my old man, I think I sent it to second, and I think Jack was third. And then the Gala boys and that, like a few other people, but and Ronnie Morgan, I sent it to Ronnie and the family, just said like he got me PB and shit. But so when we were up visiting the Morgans in the Kimberley last year, we spent a day on the Pentecost camping, fishing, and we just went down to the spot. Ronnie and Maria and Cole had put us onto this spot, and just said like, go and try here and then try there, and then at the Pentecost go down to this particular spot. We went down there and we actually met this Jack down there. So Jack actually has got his own Insta page. I don't believe he's got YouTube. Like I said, good juju. Mad keen fisherman, but he actually works at Lake Argyle as a guide there, runs the boat out there. So if you're ever at Lake Argyle and you get on the boat, have a yarn to Jack and say hi from Red Dust Adventures. But yeah, when we were there, man, he was become quite close and yarning up. He was there with his family, and we're talking about barra fishing and that, because he's like right into his barra. And then he showed me a little spot, and we went on the way out. We drove out in the dark. We were there till like late, and then we tried. He said he got onto a monster, like a big monster horse barra the week before. And then we both fished this spot, flicked lures at it for probably half an hour, getting fucking eaten alive by mozzies, and then we just pulled the pin, didn't get onto it. But before that, I don't, and from memory, I hope he'll correct me if I'm wrong, but he hadn't caught a meatery before that. And then I think it wasn't long after that his misso had caught a meatery. And then one of his trips, man, he actually had a friend up there on the Pentecost, and he was showing his friend how to fish for barra and looking after him or whatever. And then his mate got onto a meatery, and then I think it was the same night or the night after he got onto his first matey. I don't know exactly, metre 10 or whatever, but he's caught quite a few now. And then so he was so excited for me when I'd said like, got me PB, it's only 74. He's like, fucking killer, bros, that's fucking sick. When are you coming back up here? I want to hook up, let's go for a fish. So like mad keen fisherman, and I love, like I was saying to you in the last episode, bros, with the Gala boys, I love when you talk about stuff, like you're fishing or you're full driving, or if you're into shooting or whatever, and a person who's into the same shit just gets excited for you, like you just know they're pumped for you. So Jack, thanks for your support, man. We will catch up soon. we want to head back up the Kimberley, and you'll be definitely someone we'll meet on the Pentecost. We'll tip back a couple of cold beers, and we will chase some stonkers, and you might be able to get me onto my first meatery, get me and feed just on the meateries. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it. Good juju. Check out his Instagram page. Next one, Buzz. Have we got any more lives, or do you want to jump in there? Or?
Brennan said you caught a fish? Question mark?
Daddy, cheeky. I was nearly going to swear then, but I was going to swear all the time. It's cheeky fuck. Yes, I did, Brendan. I did catch my personal best barramundi last weekend, mate. It was actually a week today, last Saturday night. I was probably not far off this time, not probably an hour or so later, but yeah, called me personal best 74 centimetre. I'll send you a photo, Brendan, when we get off here. It was on the Insta, mate, but if you followed me Insta, you'd see it. But anyway,
next one.
No, it was mint, bros. Like I don't catch a lot of fish. We did do a trip just recently, Fee and I got onto a bloody cranking bloody salmon and lost it at the bank. So anyway, I did. I caught a good barra. Next question, Benny from Kimberley Dreamy, Insta page, also does tag along tours up in the same sort of area as Ronnie does, up through the Wyndham and the East Kimberley area, and I believe they do quite a few tag along tours along the Gibb River Road. So look up Benny and Kimberley Dreamy. Wealth of knowledge up in the area, and that too. Loves the area. Always trying to promote the area, like the Morgan family do. Like all legends up there. And Benny's question was, why don't more people travel to the Kimberley, specifically around that Wyndham area and the East Kimberley in the wet season, because it's the best time to be there. It's the prettiest time to be there. And to be honest with you, Benny, I'll answer it first, and then Jaden can answer it second. But we're sort of 5 minutes up the road, and when I say 5 minutes up the road, 1,600 k. So it's reasonably close, I guess. It's 3,500 k's for Jaden. But the only reason probably we don't visit in the wet, because but we follow Benny on Instagram as a reference, and each night when it's in wet season, bro, he'll put up little reels and videos of just lightning storms every night. They get their lightning storms every night, and then he'll do little videos of, they'll go to the grotto. We've been to the grotto, mate, when we were up there, and it was like a bare trickle. And then they're up there in wet season, and you can still get to the grotto from where where they live in Wyndham there, and it's pumping, like it's absolutely epic. But a lot of the time when it's like that, I guess, Benny, to answer your question, the biggest fear for us is getting up there and getting stuck, because when that wet season's on, quite often you'll get those, it's sort of that cyclone season, but you'll get those rains and they'll flood the roads. Doesn't happen all the time, but it floods the roads in between, Headland and Broome, or Broome and sort of that Kununurra or Wyndham area, and then we can't get back, so that's probably, don't get me wrong, Benny, we'd love to come up there and do a bloody wet season up there where we could go and get to see all that. We'll stay up there with the Morgans or yourselves and, stay in the Wyndham area and then just like exhaust ourselves, just going and having a look at all, and then just stay there for, like as a fishing thing, like stay there for the runoff. Like when the wet, I'd love to be there for when the wet starts to it all runs off the flats. They reckon it's just like especially up in Darwin and that, but like up in the Wyndham area, when all that runoff after the wet starts to run off, it's like sick fishing. So that's probably the reason we don't travel up there in the wet. But don't challenge me, Benny. We could be up there. We could be up there for this wet. We'll just see how we go. But yeah, and Jaden, I know, like obviously you live a million miles away, but you can understand where Benny's asking the question, eh? Like it's beautiful up there in the wet.
Yeah, 100%. But then it also, I suppose, as a south sort of person as well, like not being familiar with the area, like exactly what you said, getting stuck, but also access, I suppose, too. Like, it becomes I don't know, you watch like 4 Drive 24/7 or something, and you know, when they do the Umagari and stuff like that, and you know, they come at the wrong time and they're sitting there for days waiting for a river to drop, or you know, we've been up there. We said the last episode we went to Darwin and it was flooded, and you sort of, all these places were shut because it was too wet, and sort of like, I don't know, yeah, like it's beautiful, but then also you can ruin your trip at the same time, I suppose. Like, and like, you know, I'm saying this as someone that's down south, so someone up there knows it well. They know what they can and can't do, and you can plan it. But as someone travelling up, you know, you don't. You know, for some people it's a frigging lot of money, or it's their lifetime trip or something. So you don't want to roll up there and be sitting there for a week, wasting your holiday. Your 2 weeks waiting for a bloody river to drop, or you know, this dream spot you've gone to is flooded, and so you're not allowed in there, or there's a place you want to swim, there might be a croc in there because it's flooded, or you know, like as as someone, you know, like that's not familiar with the area at all. That's what I sort of see. Sort of, it's beautiful, but also as a touristy sort of thing, trying to get around, it can also be a bit of a pain in the arse of how wet it is.
I think you'd have to spend a season there, wouldn't you? You'd have to lock yourself in there and sort of what you'd call landlock yourself.
Or sort of like a retiree sort of travelling where time doesn't matter too much or something. You
so
know,
if you're stuck
you just sit there. We'll wait. We'll chill here for a week or two. You know,
absolutely. Well, and going back to Jack, like from Good Juju, he puts videos up the same as what like Benny does, where they'll go to a spot like in the morning and there'll be like the water's running across the road, like across the causeway. They'll go and have a fish and come back and it's pumping through there because that water's coming from like, you know, 100k, 200, 500k up the road or up the creek, and then you can't get back across and they've got to wait it out, you know, like, and they live there in a local or whatever, but we're up there and like you said, unfamiliar with the area, these guys live and breathe it, but you're shitting yourself, you're just like, well, you know, what do I do now sort of thing, so.
Yeah, I mean, that trip we did to Darwin, and, you know, it sort of wrecked part of it, where you wanted to spend a few days with Ronnie. And we got stuck in it was at the time that Fitzroy River Bridge got, I said on the last episode. And you know, there's places we wanted to see around near Darwin, couldn't get it, but then we also were stuck in Darwin at a caravan park waiting for the river that
to come down and get back out
to get back into WA to go to Wyndham, you know. So and then also we had to get home by a certain date, couldn't get obviously through the Fitzroy, so we had to go all the way through Tanami, all the way back to NT. You know, so a massive detour. All for being at the wrong time of the season. You know,
that's right.
Where if we'd gone at a different time, we would have been chilling where we wanted to be. So
absolutely. It's a bit of a tricky one there. But hey, Benny, first time you've jumped on the potty and got involved, man. So we really
cheers, bro.
We really appreciate that.
Legend.
And we look forward to catching up with you again too. When we were up there, we went to the footy one night. The Crocs were playing, and that's when the 24/7 boys were there, and we got to meet Benny. Hanging out to get back up there and catch up with him. But thanks heaps, man. Really appreciate it. We've got a couple more there. One was just from young Callum, who jumped on last episode on the lives, and he just said, because I said on the last episode we called in and seen young Cal, on the way home, and he gave me a couple of crayfish, which was sick, like bloody beautiful. But while we were there, he said, "Oh, what are you drinking?" I said, "Bloody bevy," and I said, "Oh, bloody vodka and lemonade, just these random cans." And he sent me a message yesterday saying, "Yeah, arsehole, I'm bloody booked on them, love them," whatever. And go Pies, because he's a mad Collingwood supporter like myself. Don't hold that against us, but so go Pies. Another lad, man, Jamie Yates. I've worked with him for years with Linkforce. Haven't seen him for bloody 2 or 3 years, to be honest with you. But worked for Linkforce with himself. What was this one? What's the best camping spot you've been to or stayed at? Now, and again, we did this in the last episode.
Sort of touched on it.
We wanted to do it to sort of, to connect them together. But I think, and I said in episode 16, Cape York, Dalhunty River, just because of the personal thing behind it. To be honest with you, mate, and again, I'll say it like I did in the last episode, and I've said it for bloody the last 15 episodes, not to sound like a flog, we've travelled a fair bit of Australia and been to some amazing spots, and I don't think there's ever, I don't think there's ever one spot that just jumps out there. You just say like the most epic trip I've ever had, because there'll be a trip that's just like epic four-wheel driving where it's just like, God, that was just insane. Then there'll be a trip where you've caught your personal best fish, or then there'll be a trip that you got to a spot where the quad bikes just were in their own element to where it's meant, and then, or you'll meet an amazing person. Like even to go down with you and just spend the day with you, bros, filming and doing bloody Cal Cup. Yeah. Fucking sick. And mate, I can't even tell you, just the simple little things where, and I think that's, to answer your question, Jamie, I don't know whether I can nail it, man. We've been to so many different spots and camped at, Ningaloo, we camped right on the beach, like it was, you'd stepped out of the camper trailer and you're just in the bay, and each morning go out there and bloody put a strip bait on there and catching trevally like it was, and eating trevally for bloody breakfast each morning on the Weber. Like, I've camped at some fucking amazing spots. But, to say then too, when we went and did Cal Cup that day, and to just the little things that I took out of that day, like, we ate on the beach down there on the Warren River, and then, on the way out, we stopped and we're pumping up the tyres, and just the sunset coming through them bloody carry trees, and pardon me, and then just stopped. I haven't had fish and chips from a fish and chip shop, no shit, in 5 years. And then we just stopped in Pemberton at the fish and chip shop. We just stopped there because we were bloody out of piss, and we didn't have piss back on the property. And we're just stopping there to get some bloody piss for when we got home. And so like, lo and behold, there's a fish and chip shop there, and we just sat out the front instead of just like grabbing them and driving. We just sat out the front, freezing our asses off, talking about that general store there that was there that had everything known to man in it. But just that half an hour sitting there eating fish and chips, just talking shit, it was just like, it's all those little things, man. Just the small things that are important to me.
Someone parking in a motorbike parking spot too, some 79 Flogger.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, Jamie, I don't know, man. Like I've camped at so many spots.
I feel like it's almost the experience too. Like it's. Yeah. I mean, obviously landscape, you get some friggin' but you could have the shittest. You could be at the best landscapey sort of spot.
Yeah.
And you can have the shittest experience, you could blow your engine up, and then it's going to be a pretty fucking shit camping spot, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
It's more the experience and who you're with and what you're doing and your emotion at the time, like it's or, it might be you could be at a not so flashy sort of camping spot, but it's been a bucket list item for so long, and you've worked so hard to be able to get to that spot, and it just makes it the best thing sort of ever, how I said last episode, we stumbled across this cliff camp. It was probably far from the best camping spot in WA or Australia. It was just to stumble upon it, and just the time and it was busy and just friggin' sick,
And look, mate, to be honest, and as we were saying that, like I told you earlier how a good mate had sent me a message saying, a Q&A for the potty clotheslines at campsites, and it didn't make any sense to me, and I sent him a message and I said, what the fuck's that about? He said, our Fraser Island trip, just a bit of banter. And just to reflect on that story and just that actual trip, and there was a particular day on that trip that we will remember for the rest of our lives. The whole trip was epic. We spent 12 days on Fraser Island, and that was part of a trip of Unlock Australia. So we were raising money for Ruthie and Unlock Australia back in the day. So we had a little bit of I think there was 15 four-wheel drives that went away, all stickered up. We had flags going, we were raising money, we were stopping in towns, we were bloody, stopping at the pub at Fraser and people would donate and all that sort of shit. It was mint. It was a really sick trip. But this particular night, so obviously we were doing little group nights and all that. And then in this particular night and the next day, we had a night, man, where it was just like everyone just do their own thing. And then tomorrow, I don't know, it was called a day off. And it's like, I don't know, so there was quite a few of us, and I don't know who listens to this, so if anyone does listen to this and they get offended by this, well, they're just going to have to suck it up. But within that 15 vehicles and that big group of people, there was a go-getter group that just lived and breathed what we did, and there was that group that were more accustomed to going away for a weekend and just sitting in a spot and just sitting there on their asses, and we weren't a part of that group. So we're sort of divided into two groups without being divided, if that makes sense. So this particular night, we'd got on the piss, and it was just myself and Fee and our two daughters and our best mate Dallas and his missus and his two kids, and then a couple other people joined us, and then we got fucking blind, like para that night. And then we were all just sitting around just yarning and talking, and Kylie, our good friend, had a clothesline there, one of those little pop-up clotheslines with all the kids' clothes on it, drying during the day, but had left it out. And when I was trying to head home, and Dallas was climbed up into his camper trailer, but I couldn't get around the clothesline, and just smashed through it, went ass up, kids' clothes everywhere, destroyed the clothesline, but I couldn't do anything about it. But I was too drunk to be able to fix anything, and I just bloody crawled myself over to our camper trailer and went to bed. And Dallas told me later, he was just he couldn't get up and help either. And Kylie's he's drunk, you need to help him. And he said, and Dallas is I can't help him. He was parrot too, but he was just giggling. He was just watching me, just giggling, helpless, but giggling at me, just and I just crawled me way back over the thing. But the next day, bro, and this is getting back to just those when you said about moments and stuff. So the next day we woke up, and we just said to each other, and Dallas and Kylie were great to travel with, and I think that's a lot of the time you just meet people that you don't need to discuss shit, you just do shit. You wake up in the morning and all of a sudden, that they were cooking breakfast, and the next day we'd be cooking. There was no discussion, it was just, and then that night, everything just fell into place. We really gelled, and we woke up in the morning and it's just do you want to go for a drive? So we were camping on the east coast, and it's do you want to go for a drive to the west coast today? Because there was no plan for us to do any camping or any real travelling on the west coast of the island. And it's fuck yeah, let's do it. So then, as we're packing everything up and getting kids, because we're little kids, getting ready to go, these three other vehicles were driving out of camp and just how's going? And they were the group. As much as we weren't all a group, but they were the same as us, where it's there's no rest days. We're on Fraser Island for 12 days. Don't know whenever we're coming back here, we might not ever come back here. So while we're here, we're going to exhaust this place. So then this couple, so there was Lex and Nat and their son and his girlfriend. They were in two separate vehicles, and they drove out and went, sort of give us a wave. And we're just but they had the biggest smile on their face, and we just waved at them yep, we know where you're going. And then a couple others drove out, and then these two young fellas, they drove out and they'd give us the wave. Anyway, so we just packed up our stuff, and we all drove, they drove off, we didn't know where they'd gone. And then we drove off, and we got to this place called Lathumba. I think it's called Lathumba or Wathumba Point on the west coast of Fraser Island. One of the most magnificent spots we've ever been to in our lives, and definitely our favourite on Fraser. Absolutely stunning. We went up to Sandy Coast, we did the lighthouse, we did all that sort of stuff. It was beautiful. But this Wathumba Point, absolutely stunning, man. It was just a sick spot. And we just happened to go across there and seen it, went in there and just pulled up, and it's we're fishing here for the day. And we just got out and we chucked some rods in there, and we're just there. The kids are running around playing. We caught a couple of big flatties and stuff. And then, just lo and behold us, that whole crew of all the people that just like, they don't sit in camps all day, just by chance, as not all together, just 15 minutes later or half an hour later, an hour later, that whole crew ended up at that spot. And they, Lex and Nat and their young fella Tommy and his girlfriend, I can't remember his girlfriend's name, they've rocked in there. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, what are you doing here? And it's like, then Zoe and that have turned up and, bud, all of a sudden, the whole crew, we ended up there and we just got on the piss there and had a yarn, salamis and cheese and all the rest of it. And it was like the highlight of the trip. You know what I mean? There's heaps of good shit happened on that trip.
Yeah.
But it was almost that day, man.
Just the experience of it.
Yeah, it was, man. It was the experience. It was absolutely epic. So, Jamie, it was a long-winded answer. But that's just how I roll. And I was sort of off topic, but I was just... Because you just mentioned that it's like... Events or major spots, but there's just those moments in time. So I don't know whether that answers the question, Jamie. But anyway, I'll go there.
I hope so, because they don't know any further answers.
Joe's nearly out of battery and fuel, but
you can reply to Brendan. Just said he said chat soon, legend, and he said wash me balls on my back. So you can talk to him for a second while I empty that tank.
Rogie. So he's washing his balls and back. Yeah, Rogie. Well. Mate, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you get some sleep tonight. You're probably not going to. You probably don't know. I know you're saying you're only getting 2 or 3 hours sleep a night, which is pretty sad and would be exhausting, mate. But yeah, the little highlights when you go down there and catch some salmon down at Ugarup, that's bloody epic. No doubt Carly's looking after you the best you can. Hopefully you're getting some answers. I know you said the other day you get some. When you got some more tests, but. Still no bloody answer, so hopefully, the more you keep going, we'll get something, get some answers for you, and you can get up north, because you keep promising me you and Carly are coming up north and we're going to do some barra fishing. So anyway, when it warms back up, and we'll get out there and we'll do some barra fishing, have some laughs and all the rest of it, mate. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Brendan, really appreciate it, brother. And next time we do a Q&A, need some questions. Alright. So the big rabbit head's back.
It's actually quite warm, this thing, eh?
I have no doubt. Yeah, you probably need to put it on your legs, mate, eh? But,
you should see the fog. You should have seen the fog I just seen.
Oh, true.
You can't see it in the dark, but it's quite foggy behind us.
Yeah. Well, you're doing quite well, because that rabbit's head is quite bright. Yeah, looks good.
Yeah. Oh, I got my phone light on the computer.
Okay.
So you can actually see me.
Oh yeah, that's it.
The ups and its best.
Yeah, nice.
Yep. What do we got next, brother?
What do we got here?
We're already at an hour 20 when I feel like we're not even a quarter of the way through.
Alright, I've got Shane Oden, mate, who's been a big part of the potty right from the start too, and he said scariest moment or thing camping or wheeling.
I was trying to think of this one. You can go first, because have you got one?
Well, I'd say probably the scariest, and I think we've said it in the previous episode.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
The scariest thing wheeling is when we're up in Cape York and we're doing the Wenlock. We crossed the Wenlock River and we laid the old 105 into the bank up on one wheel and smashed into the bank, and then had another crack at the bank and smashed into the bank twice, and then ended up driving it, and it sort of put the wind up us for the bit, and the kids shit themselves and that was probably the scariest moment I've had. And even though I just think it was just because the kids were in the car. We've had some other moments and all this, but that was probably one of the scariest moments, I guess, for like the whole four-wheel drive side of things. For like the camping thing, I'm not real sure what's the scariest moment I've had camping. Probably outside of feet falling in the fire, man, was fucking pretty hectic. And again, that was something we've spoken about on another episode. Feet falling in the fire and going through those next few days with skin hanging off our arms and trying to do first aid and all this. It was pretty hectic, and it woke us up a bit and taught us a few lessons. So I would say that's probably the scariest when it comes to camping. I've had some moments where we've probably felt real uneasy in camps, but never really scared. Just a bit uneasy. Doesn't feel right. Your gut doesn't feel right or whatever. But that's probably our scariest, mate. What about yourself?
Wheeling pretty low key. Hey, like, I mean, fuck, I can't believe how much colder it is for taking that off.
You
have to leave the bunny on 24/7. Yeah, wheeling pretty low key. Hey, we sort of don't hit things that we're not confident in, or I'm not confident in. And I mean, I'm not normally too scared of four driver, but you sort of know your limit. But down here is sort of, don't hit big bog holes and all that carry on.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing to report really on the wheeling sort of side. Like,
yeah.
Probably maybe the only sketchy things I've had is some of the beaches. A bit skinny, like, and going. I think it was around Margaret River, sort of Margaret River. Like you go, you've been to Ugra now, and that's the beach I'm used to. Like, it doesn't matter what tide it is, you're good to go. And I think it was down Margaret River we've been to some of them beaches, and yeah, just coming into a spot you don't know, and you don't know, and yeah, start rolling down some of them beaches, and the water's fairly close, and just not knowing the area is a bit like, oh shit, like, nothing compared to some of the beaches up north, but yeah, nothing, like, not taking any stupid risks and stuff, but and camping, haven't had too anything hectic. Probably the worst was it was with my mum, actually. Bit of a hectic camping trip. Not everything goes smooth in the ups down here. Headed to Ugra up. It was going to be a weekend trip, so I believe it was a Friday, roll down there Friday afternoon sort of job. They got down there before us. We come down a little bit later. Met up with mum and her partner and the brothers and sisters and stuff, and I said, "Oh, look, we'll find a spot out of the wind," and yeah, it's better definitely for sure. Sponsor us. And yeah, we found, it wasn't ideal weather, spitting rain and quite windy as is always down there, but found this spot over the back of the dunes, and yeah. So we kind of parked all the cars, sort of trying to block the wind as close as we could, got my awning out. I thought, I'll light a fire for you guys. And I just bought a brand new Fisker's axe. And this thing was a belter. Couldn't wait to try it out, chopping the kindling, and yeah, kind of stuffed up, and there goes the end of my thumb off. And, nothing life-threatening, like, but it was, freaked all the kids out. I've seen all the blood everywhere, and
You're frozen. He's got on the frozen legends, so hopefully we are still live. Not sure what you're hearing on the other side. Maybe he's getting anything. What I can say, it has Jaden has frozen on the opposite screen here with a big smile on his face, so that's a big thing. He probably should have had the rabbit head on. So not sure how we're going to come out of this. We'll see how we go. But again, I'm just going to say in the background too, like, while he's trying to, I don't know, he could still be talking, but just to keep the show rolling while he's disconnected. So not sure how this is going to work out. So I suppose I'll do an outro, guys. We did have a couple more questions to go, but I'm not going to ask them without Jaden here. So yeah, I'm not sure what you heard of Jaden's question there, but obviously, yeah, he bloody nearly cut his thumb off with the Fisker's axe, and yeah, just want to say thanks heaps to Shane Oden, been around, from day dot two on the potty, but thanks heaps for your question, mate. I do have a couple of little moments there where, when my daughter got stung by the jellyfish or whatever, blue bottle or whatever, she was pretty cooked up, was pretty scary, but outside of that, thanks heaps, Shane. Yeah, really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone that sent in the questions. So the other guys that we've got, you're throwing the questions in. We're going to have to just, we'll see if Jaden comes back. We might be able to edit it out and get your questions answered. Outside of that, thanks for joining us. Yeah, it feels weird. Thanks for joining us for episode 17. And I guess we'll see you in the next one.